Alright, hopefully y'all can hear me and hopefully this works. This is gonna be episode 1 of me attempting to cook something, and among other things, don't forget that this is live, this is a one-shot take, hi, and I'm gonna mess up a lot. The goal, like I put in the description, is to make a meal that includes top sirloin strip steak. Like an advertisement. Bill Vanna White. For those of you who don't know, that's a Wheel of Fortune reference. Number 2, it's going to include a hearty fresh broccoli crowns. And then, because I'm Irish and I'm required to do this, a couple of potatoes. So, the goal is to make this a meal, and the other goal is, well, there's 3 goals. One is to make it a meal. One is to make sure I don't die of food poisoning or wake up at 2 in the morning wanting to throw up. And number 3 is I don't have to call the fire department based off what I make. I don't have a smoke alarm in here, so that's a fantastic plus. I have a air fryer, which will be used for the broccoli and the potatoes. I have this cast iron skillet that will be used for the meat. Y'all know I don't do seasoning at all, so salt and pepper. And I have Pam. So, there's a great quote that goes, the first time's gonna suck, and hopefully you get better after that. So, here's to sucking, embarrassing myself, and talking to myself while I broadcast to you guys, and hopefully you get a little entertainment out of this. If not, that's cool too. But, yeah. As we're going, just a quick thing for those of you who don't know. Hopefully, let me check sure this is actually working. Is it? Okay, it says it is. Cool. It also says, okay. I don't cook, and the reason I don't cook is growing up, when my parents got divorced at a really young age for me, and we had to do a lot of different driving around. So my mom would take me from tutoring to lessons to sports, and instead of cooking, she would go, hey, there's a Wendy's, hey, there's a Burger King on the way, let's just go get food. And I would go, yes, let's go get food. And this was back in the day when fast food was cheap. So I was raised on a lot of McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, with a little KFC in there, when they had popcorn chicken, which is delicious, by the way. So I was really raised on fast food, and then we would do like takeout from restaurants on occasion, for big occasions. And then the only real cooking we did would be like weekend morning pancakes, an occasional grilled cheese. Haven't done that in a while. That'd be fun to do though. And then like frozen chicken nuggets and French fries. So my expertise in the kitchen is putting a tray of 12 chicken nuggets and a bunch of French fries and putting them in the oven, setting them for, I don't even remember, and setting a timer and walking away. So let's do this. What do y'all say? I took some notes and I left the notes in the other room, so give me a moment. I'll be right back. And hopefully this will help me out. My notes, because I can't Google stuff while I'm doing this, is pat it dry and season the steak. Cook it on both sides after preheating the pan. Make sure the internal temperature is 140 to 150. And then for the potatoes, it's air fry at 400 degrees for about 15 to 30 minutes. Let's see how well this works. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Hopefully y'all are here, not sure. Let's see how well this works. I'm super happy that y'all are maybe entertained out of this. Let's put these out here. Stay. Let's turn this on to medium question mark. And I guess I did this last night like I was following directions, but let's do it again, maybe? Don't know. Worst case, I've got a bunch of towels, and I can just throw it on if the grease starts to light on fire. Don't light on fire. So let's wash. Ooh, come on, Pam. Usually I would use those for pancakes, and I would rinse them off right away. washing the potatoes off because you can't see me because I am off screen. I got a lot of potatoes because I'm Irish and I'm required to love potatoes. So yeah, I wanted to get more, but I was like, what's the chance I actually mess this up? Probably pretty high. Again, but the goal is, you know, the first thing of being good at anything is to suck at it. And I am going to suck at it tonight, and that's okay. Knives are sharp. Alright, so also, I'd just like to point out, I do have this awesome utensil right here. It is a gift from my sister, and it is the Disney World monorail. Because it's awesome, and she's awesome. So I'll be using that a lot tonight. And I have a spatula of the Death Star. So there's that. Alright, let's cut these up. What do you say? I'm having so much fun while doing... And I almost already dropped everything. Off to a good start. Does anyone ever remember that show with Emerald Lagasse from the 90s? And for probably half the people that are on here, the 90s, back in the day, was a time before you were born. There was a show where the guy would go, bam, kick it up a notch. And he was like, what's his name? Gordon Ramsay before Gordon Ramsay, except he was like actually nice. He had like a daily TV show where he would cook things, and it was like the original one, or I think so. Someone fact checked that on me, I guess. Anyways, that's what this feels like. Hopefully this is working the right way. Again, I don't really know. And if I mess up, that is okay. Hopefully updates later. Could you imagine that, like, you just see me post at like 2, 3 in the morning, like, hey guys, guess what didn't work out? My plan to not get sick. That would not be fun. So, these are going in here for a while. Oh, we're gonna save the broccoli for last because I don't even know if I want to cook that yet. But we will see. And then there's that. Usually I'm listening to music or some kind of thing at this time. Let's turn that down a little bit. So it's a lot more quiet in around here than it usually is, but that's okay. I probably shouldn't have used these many potatoes, but why not? My Irish heritage is going to be very proud of me, hopefully. Alright, so we will not cook the largest one. That will go back in the bag. This will go in here. Let's go, what was it, 15? Let's start at 15. Now here's going to be a super fun part. I don't know if you can hear me over this. You might not, but hopefully you can. And I'm going to continue to talk, so hopefully you definitely can. Now, let's cook our Vanna White pose. Our top sirloin strip steak. When I went up to the counter to get this today, the guy on the counter said, what are you looking for? And I said, I have no idea. I actually told him that. I have no idea what I'm doing. So this was on the counter, or on the shelf next to the counter. I grabbed these because, I mean, it looked pretty simple. I'm pretty sure there's no bone in here. Again, I don't know anything about this. So, yeah. Let me actually see if I can open this. I used to. Pretty quickly. All right. Used to wrap these super quick all the time, I should say. Hey, what do you know? I did it. So, we're going to keep these in here. There are 2 in here because if I mess up on one, I can just... I'm kidding. If I mess up on... I was going to say if I mess up on one, I can just use the other one. But the real reason is because that's how they came packaged. So, what I'm told is I got to pat this dry of all of the excess juice. If anyone starts getting mad about this, I literally had to Google this, and that's what it said. So I'm just following orders because, you know, is that a good thing that the pan is smoking a little bit? I don't know, we'll see. And then I am going to put a bunch of salt on here because that's my seasoning, and it's the actual quote said, liberally douse and sprinkle your what's it called? Toppings onto it or whatever. Your seasoning, that's what I'm looking for. So I will liberally do this. Now, I told a joke one time that when I used to try that HelloFresh stuff, not sponsored by the way, I no longer do, but the reason I knew I was done with with the meal of HelloFresh was all of the alarms would go off in where I lived. I really hope I'm doing this right. I had a moment today where, because I had no idea what I'm doing, I kept hearing the word, seeing the word sear, and I don't know what that means. So I had to Google what sear means. Before anyone laughs at that, half of there are words that I don't know in general about this kind of stuff. It'd be kind of like trying to teach you guys percussion. There's a bunch of terms you probably don't know. That's okay. No judging. All right. So let's try and put this on here. Maybe. Hey, that sounds pretty. That sounds like it's like commercial. That's awesome. And then I still don't know what to do, but it's okay. May have wanted to wait a few minutes to match with the potatoes, but if not, that's cool. Gonna put a little more on right now because what's the chance to actually burst the flames? Hopefully not very. That would actually be super crazy if it just like went roof. I do like that smell. That's a good smell. So that's a plus. Oh. While we're doing this, I should probably set this bad boy up. This hearty fresh broccoli crown. And get that ready to be put into the air fryer. My timing may be completely off tonight, and that's okay. Because this is the first time I've ever done this. The working thing. Well, if you're washing lobster tonight, might be a good idea. Yeah, definitely a good idea. Okay, let's wash this off. Cold. Okay, so that's washed off. Nice. Putting on the potato rack. Now, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but let's flip it, because it did say to flip it. So I'm going to flip this for a second. Oh, okay, I'm going to try to flip this for a second. It doesn't work. Oh my gosh! Okay, it really won't be flipped. Work, jerk. Okay, I hope that's correct. Now, if my training from all those years ago worked, we'll use this as the thing to put the tools in. All tongs, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So, because on this side, I am now going to be liberally, quote unquote, putting salt on here, which will actually honest people needs to be salty. Like, watch me take one bite and be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that ever again. Alright, so, if you're watching this, and you know more things than I do, which means you do, because, again, I know zero, we can use ideas. I actually have a question for y'all. Oh my gosh, why? Not that, that's not the question. Why do certain pans have those, like, protectors on the handles and others don't? Like, are people trying to be proud of the fact that they're going to burn their hands? Or, like, what's the gist? Could someone explain that to me? Because I am curious about that fact. Cool. Alright, so, that's super helpful. We are going to put this here for a moment. I need some more counter space, maybe. I don't know. If you are watching this, I hope you're getting some entertainment out of this. If you're not watching this, yeah. You know what else I need, I think? I realized I probably need one of those, like, pots with the covers on them so that I can keep something warm while everything's going on. Gatorade's amazing. Also not sponsored, but Gatorade, Glacial Freeze. Is Gatorade saying it's in here? I think it is. Anyways, it is because I just drank it. So let's, the problem is, this is not looking the way I want it to look right now. Now I got told that I'm not supposed to flip it more than twice, I think. But that middle part is looking really not happy right now, and I want it to look a lot happier than it is. So let's increase the temperature and hope for that. Okay. So yeah, back, if you know this, why do some pans, like, look, I may not be smart, but I'm not an idiot. So I know that because it's all metal, that's the conductor part of it, so I would burn my hand touching it, and because drumming / percussion, but mostly drumming, drumline, snare, I can't afford to burn my hands. So that's why I have this cloth over it. But again, why do some pans have the protective on it, and some are just straight like, you're an idiot if you don't use a towel on it? I really like to know that. If anyone could let me know, that'd be fantastic. But until then, that's bananas. That's my way to bananas. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong or at all, so we're going to put this again. I may have been cooking one time years ago, and I accidentally touched a piece of wrapping against a pan, and it may have caught on fire. It was not a good time. Oh shoot, come on now, bud. I think I'm doing this right, I'm not sure. I'm not saying I need more space because I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to clean all my counters off a little more, I guess. Let's put more salt, because salt never hurt me once, right? And then I do have a hey look, a fan. I have a trusty temperature, because I'm not going to be able to test this out until eating it, so I don't want to open it up and be like, hey, that's food poisoning right there, because food poisoning sucks. You should not get it. Kind of looking better. I'm not sure about this. We might come back and do this one later. I don't know yet. Even like the whatchamacallit hot right now. Let's make them a little less. It's looking less pink in the middle, which is a huge plus. I might be doing something wrong. We will find out. Or I might be, what's the phrase, beginner lucky my way to this. Yeah. It's fun because, for those of you who don't know, I have a huge thing about, like, you should never tell someone you have no idea, or, like, you should never give someone advice or teach someone something you have no idea about. The fact that I'm cooking this right now, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I find that humorous. Let me rephrase that. You shouldn't give advice on things, like, you don't know. That's what I mean to say. Like, I don't know how to cook, and yet I'm doing a live about, hey, let's try to cook. I'm not teaching, so that's a plus on it. Maybe that makes sense, but it's just very ironic to me that, like, I don't know how to cook, and it's like, hey, watch me cook. Osford in the house now. Oh, I made a mistake, but that's okay. I've got 4 minutes left on the potatoes. You can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. However, I'm not a fan of stew, so I'm just air frying them. They can stay in my TNT. Let's flip this over and see if I can burn it, because I feel like I may have burned it. It doesn't want to flip. Why don't you want to flip? Why do you hate to do this? Oh, this might not work. That's okay though. Let's do the temperature checking. Let's It's got to be like 140, I think it is. That's 100, so it's at least like we're passing 110. So that's a plus. I mean, there's still pink in the middle, but like, hey, we passed 110. I love it to be like 140 because that's what said was for like around the temperature I like. Someone years ago asked me how I like my steak cooked, and I said, well done, because as many of you know, if I can do something, I like to overdo it, because that's just like my nature of things. Hey, we work 120, that's cool. And the person next to me, we were at family events, said, I didn't know you liked eating charcoal, and I said, what do you mean? I wanted it cooked. And they're like, you know, there's different levels of cooking things, and I said, I did not know that. We're at 122 right now, so that's getting there. I'm going to see later in the live stream how long all of this took, and I feel like I might be entertained. Also, our potatoes are almost done, Samwise Angie, so we're going to try that out. I almost want to say I'll bet money that they're still cold. I also am seasoning them because you know how much I hate seasoning. Oh, I feel like to be like rock solid when I try doing it. But okay, we are not where I want to be, and that's okay. And I got a feeling I'm gonna. Again, I got told I should flip it that many times, but at the same time, like, this doesn't feel right. Again, I should be saying that because I have no idea what I'm doing, which is super duper helpful. I got 1 minute on potatoes. This is a fork, so I know how they taste. Fork. I just cut open and look inside and be like, hey, that sucks. We'll see though. Holy good lord. Now I have to do it on the camera. It's actually hot. How hot is it? Oh! Oh! Not bad. It's not bad. Can I do that? So I recently redid the cupboards in my kitchen because I didn't like how they were looking. So I'm a little topsy-turvy right now. So this is the potatoes. Hopefully you can see them. Let's see if you can see them. The potatoes. They're pretty good. Not complaining. Work faster. I need a cover thingy because I like hot food. I like hot food to stay hot. Between cooking it and eating it. Crazy, isn't that? Alright. I heard my phone buzz, which means I think someone's trying to contact me. but I'm not sure. We're gonna let that chill there for a minute. Oh, good lord, I should have done that. Okay, let's pop these in here for like 30 seconds. What do you say? This way, at least I can say I'm killing bacteria, right? Oh, we are not doing 15 minutes. We are doing, let's say, 2 minutes. Work. Let's take another temperature. Let's go for like a better place from that. What do you say? And if this doesn't go, I'm just going to cut open. Because when you're cooking food for the first time, kids, it's okay to cheat on the food itself and figure out what you're doing right and wrong. That's the other thing, is because I don't like the mystery of it. It's like super intense about things. Again, I like to not die. So I'm at 105. Also, that shrank. Forgot that happened. 110. Everything just explodes when I have to get new equipment to work on. That would sound about right, honestly. I should really have like a pizza on standby right now. I have my dessert on standby, which is cookies from Great Harvest Bread. Also not sponsoring this video, but they are delicious cookies. So I have that standing by for dessert, but I should really have like an emergency just in case this doesn't work well, because I would still like to eat food tonight. And yeah. We are at 118. I would love to be 22 degrees hotter than this, but here, let's cheat for a second. Or in drumline terms, well, we're doing the face going right crab walk. How are we looking on the inside? I may be breaking a bunch of culinary rules, and I'm sorry. Work, bud. Yeah, there is no pink left in there. Cool. All right, so I think that's good. Yeah, let's at this point, if it's not, I'm okay. All right, so let's try this. One more in on that. Nope. Nah, well, I mean, that won't make a difference. So one more in here. Then cool. You're gonna have to pause with the second one in shortly. Design topping out right now at 125, but it's completely gray through the middle. So that's a thing. And this is going to be used for food. So I'm going to use over here. And then once I get all that broccoli out, I will show you guys the finished product. I think my Irish heritage will be moderately impressed. How did I drop from 124 to 122? I blame magic. Okay, so we're going to take this off right now. Yes, I know you're going off. That's okay. I'm willing to accept that fact. If you watch this after watching the first, 5 minutes, please watch the first 5 minutes again. I almost wanted to reach for that pan. I did not. Please watch the first 5 minutes as an explanation so that we can all be on the same page, because this is going to be super tough to eat. I'd love for you guys to be like, hey, why is he doing this? But let me get out the broccoli crowns, and I'll show you my moderately colorful meal. Said that right, corrected my accent. Moderately colorful meal. Oh, that's kind of good. Okay, I made way too much food tonight for myself. That's not meat-wise, and that's okay. So, let's do this. Hopefully you can be entertained by the sound of my voice. Good Lord. If not, I'm sorry that you don't enjoy the golden, dulcet tones of my voice. Oh, I need a bigger plate or less food next. Probably less food next time. Let's go with less food next time. Alright, almost there. Yeah, this is way too much food for me tonight. Well, leftovers were a thing, so there's that. Okay, so. I have to cover that up in a minute. But until then, we're going to let the fork out. I'm going to grab my Gatorade, because, again, Gatorade's amazing. Also, I have a soda, because I'm from Boston, so I have to say it that way. But, hopefully you can see this. I'll take a picture of it in a minute just to make sure. But, hope you enjoyed my, what do we say? Cooking comedy errors in the kitchen or whatever it is. But anyways, hope you enjoyed, and, see you later.